takes up to 4 hours of
23650. Dial each numeral in this manner.
You really feel the music with the Sony Walkman.
The Sony Walkman.
The 1980s were a period when technological devices permeated our lives. From VHS tapes that allowed us to watch our favorite movies at home to rotary phones, which were basic communication devices, they were once considered an indispensable part of every family's life, but are now just a nostalgic memory. In this video, join us as we explore 25 things from the 1980s that were once essential, now completely obsolete.
VHS, the 4-hour system from Panasonic.
In the 1980s, VHS tapes and VCR players were the heart of every living room, transforming movie nights into family rituals. These tapes, with their sleek black plastic casings and hidden magnetic film inside, brought an entire world of entertainment into every home, from newly released blockbusters to favorite television shows. The feeling of carefully inserting a tape into the VCR, hearing the click as the lid closed, then watching the image appear on the TV screen was an indispensable part of many people's childhoods.
This VHS is for me. We caught the whole game.
Not just entertainment tools, VHS also served as a means to preserve memorable moments. From family parties to significant events, recorded on tape to be watched repeatedly. The emergence of new technology quickly changed the landscape. First came DVDs, with sharper image quality and easy fast-forwarding and rewinding, completely eliminating the inconvenience of manual tape rewinding. Later, Blu-ray further upgraded the experience with even higher resolution. But the biggest shock was the explosion of internet streaming services. With just a few clicks, an entire colossal movie library was at one's fingertips, eliminating the need for physical tapes or worrying about returning them on time. Dusty VHS tapes in attics or packed in cardboard boxes gradually became a symbol of a bygone era, giving way to a much more convenient and superior digital entertainment age.
You really feel the music with the Sony Walkman.
The Sony Walkman is a tiny stereo.
In 1979, the Sony Walkman was introduced, revolutionizing the way we enjoyed personal music. This compact, palm-sized device, with its lightweight and accompanying over-ear headphones, opened up a whole new world for music lovers. Now, you could carry your favorite e-tunes anywhere, from morning jogs, bus rides to school, to stressful hours at the office. The ability to create personalized mixtapes by recording favorite songs from the radio or other cassette tapes, then manually arranging the track order, was a unique feature, leaving a distinct mark on this decade and expressing each person's individuality. As digital technology developed in the late 20th and early 21st centuries, contenders emerged to replace these music players. First came CDs with crisp digital sound quality and fast song access, though still maintaining the physical nature of the medium. Next, MP3 players appeared, completely eliminating tapes and discs, allowing hundreds of songs to be stored in an unbelievably compact device. Finally, the dominance of smartphones put an end to the Walkman era. Besides music playback, they integrated countless other features, turning the Walkman into a nostalgic icon of the past, now only appearing among vintage enthusiasts.
If the line is busy, you'll hear this busy signal, 23650. Dial each numeral in this manner.
Rotary phones. Do you remember rotary phones with their circular dials and holes for each number? They were once basic and indispensable communication devices in every home and office in the 1980s. To make a call, users would place a finger into the hole corresponding to the chosen number, then rotate the dial clockwise until the finger touched a metal stop. When the finger was lifted, the dial would automatically return to its original position, transmitting a series of electrical pulses to the telephone exchange to connect the call. This process was repeated for each digit in the phone number, requiring patience and precision, especially with longer numbers. Dialing each number, though time-consuming, brought a sense of direct and secure connection. These phones were renowned for their durability and ability to operate without electricity, needing only a phone line to communicate, becoming a lifesaver during power outages. However, the advent of push-button phones changed everything. With physical or touch buttons, making calls became much faster and more convenient, requiring just a single touch to dial. This revolution gradually pushed rotary phones into oblivion, turning them into museum exhibits or collector's items for nostalgics. Nowadays, just a swipe of a finger on a touchscreen brings the whole world within reach, making the slow dialing experience of yesteryear a distant yet fascinating memory.
Two floppy disks. With their distinctive multi-layer liner, unique disk surface treatment.
Floppy disks were an indispensable tool for data storage and transfer in the 1980s. They came in common sizes of 5.25 inches and 3.5 inches, with limited capacities from 360 kilobytes to 1.44 megabytes. They were once considered a colossal data repository, enough to hold a long text document, a few simple photos, or a small video game. These disks, with their flexible plastic casings and magnetic surfaces, were once a symbol of mobility in the tech world, allowing users to easily move data between computers or share information with colleagues and friends. The image of a floppy disk being inserted into a computer drive, emitting its characteristic whirring sound as data was read or written, was a familiar sight. Though convenient, they were extremely susceptible to damage from dust getting inside, high temperatures deforming the casing, or magnetic fields causing data loss. This spurred people to seek superior solutions. First came CD drives, then DVDs with much larger capacities, opening the era of multimedia. Next were compact and convenient USB drives, which could be plugged into any device. And finally, cloud storage technology allows data access anytime, anywhere, without physical media. All these advancements completely replaced floppy disks.
Guess what? I was just at Radio Shack and they have that duophone cordless telephone I want on sale. It has handset paging.
And to avoid missing important calls when you weren't home. Answering machines recorded personalized greetings from the homeowner and messages from callers on small cassette tapes, sometimes just a few minutes long. They were invaluable helpers for busy families and professionals, enabling them to manage communications effectively, especially when digital voicemail services were not yet widespread.
Thanks for calling. Welcome to 1979. No one's here to take a call.
However, the need to rewind tapes to listen to messages, frequently changing tapes when the capacity ran out, and the risk of tapes tangling or breaking were significant inconveniences. The emergence of digital voicemail services in the 1990s ended the era of these cumbersome machines. With digital voicemail, messages were stored on server systems, eliminating the need for physical tapes, and could be accessed from anywhere, offering convenience and virtually unlimited storage. What childhood memory does this machine bring back for you? Share it in the comments. Pagers, also known as beepers, were incredibly important wireless communication devices, especially for doctors, emergency service personnel, and those who needed to be continuously reachable in the 1980s. They were compact, easily clipped to a belt or slipped into a pocket, and usually featured a small screen displaying numerical or text messages. When a message arrived, the device would alert with a characteristic beep or gentle vibration, helping users stay connected in areas without phone reception or when silence was required. For many, the beep of a pager was a signal of important information, demanding immediate attention. Although reliable, the advent of mobile phones completely transformed the communication landscape. Mobile phones were not only compact, but also integrated many superior features, such as direct calling, sending long text messages, and later, internet access. All these features caused pages to gradually disappear in the 1990s. Before personal computers reigned and word processing software became widespread, typewriters were indispensable tools for all office work and writing for decades. Each key press required a certain amount of force, and the characteristic ding sound when a line reached its end was the signal for the user to push the carriage return lever, starting a new line. Typewriters were renowned for their durability and long-lasting operation. A single machine could serve a lifetime if well maintained. They were a symbol of professionalism and productivity in office settings, from hurried reporters typing news to careful secretaries transcribing documents. However, by the late 20th century, personal computers combined with word processing software offered the ability to edit, store, and print documents more easily than ever, eliminating worries about spelling errors or having to retype from scratch. Typewriters gradually became obsolete, giving way to quiet computer keyboards and flexible display screens. For quick and manual document duplication, carbon paper was a common tool in offices during the 1980s. It was a thin sheet of paper coated with a special carbon ink, usually black or dark blue. To use it, one would place the carbon paper between two regular white sheets. When writing or typing on the first sheet, the pressure from the pen or typewriter key would transfer down, causing the carbon ink layer to leave an identical mark on the second sheet below, creating a copy. This process could be repeated multiple times to create several copies at once, though the copy quality would gradually decrease. Even the term CC in emails today, short for carbon copy, originates from this very item. The development of photocopiers and digital technology made document copying much faster, more convenient, and cleaner. Now, with just a push of a button, hundreds of high-quality copies can be produced in an instant, making carbon paper a distant memory. Before the internet became an indispensable part of life, phone books were treasure troves of contact information distributed annually to every household. These thick books were typically divided into two main sections: white pages for personal contact information such as names, addresses, and phone numbers of households, and yellow pages for business information, arranged by industry and providing detailed advertisements. This was an essential tool for people to find friends, neighbors, or local services, from plumbers to restaurants. These paper directories became unnecessary with the rise of online directories and mobile phones. Now, by simply typing a name or service into a smartphone search engine, all necessary information appears instantly. This not only offers superior convenience, but also contributes to reducing paper waste. The Atari game console pioneered the home video game revolution, bringing classic arcade games like Pong and Space Invaders into every living room. With simple graphics, often just crude pixelated images on a black background, but addictive gameplay and high competitiveness, Atari quickly became a household name. Millions of families gathered around the TV to experience the feeling of controlling a spaceship, dodging alien bullets, or simply manipulating paddles to hit a ball back and forth. The characteristic beep and boop sounds from the console's external speaker became the soundtrack of a generation. However, the emergence of more sophisticated gaming systems like Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox surpassed Atari. These new systems offered more vivid graphics, more realistic sounds, and much more complex storylines and diverse gameplay. Do you remember those evenings engrossed with your Atari and Space Invaders? Don't forget to like and share this video to spread more nostalgia. In the 1980s office environment, the Rolodex was the ultimate tool for managing contact lists for clients, partners, and colleagues. It was a revolving holder placed neatly on a desk, containing hundreds of small cards arranged alphabetically. Each card recorded a contact's name, phone number, address, and sometimes personal notes. To find information, users simply slid a finger, gently rotated the stack of cards, and the desired information would appear. With the development of personal computers and later smartphones, contact management shifted to digital formats. Electronic contact lists on computers and phones allowed for storing thousands, even tens of thousands of contacts, with instant search capabilities and convenient cloud storage. The Rolodex gradually disappeared from desks, lying dormant in forgotten drawers. In the 1980s, film cameras were the primary way to capture every memorable moment in life. From outings and birthday parties to important events, everything was preserved on small rolls of film. Using a film camera required a certain amount of care and skill, as the number of photos was limited on each roll, forcing photographers to carefully consider each shot. After shooting, you had to take the film roll to a store for developing, and the exciting anticipation of waiting to see the printed photos to check if they were clear or not was a special experience, unattainable with modern technology. The digital revolution in the late 1990s retired film cameras. Digital cameras and smartphones emerged with the ability to instantly preview photos on screen, store unlimited images on memory cards or in the cloud, and easily edit photos. This completely transformed how people interacted with photography. What do you think when you look at these images? Public telephones were once an indispensable part of the urban landscape, present on every street corner, shopping mall, and gas station. These coin or card-operated phones were a lifesaver for anyone needing to communicate when away from home, especially in emergencies. They were places where people called home, informed friends, or simply made plans. Particularly for those without their own phone or traveling, public telephones were the only option to stay connected with the outside world. Sometimes, you had to wait in long lines to use them, especially in crowded locations. As mobile phones became widespread and affordable, the demand for public telephones drastically decreased. With a mobile phone in their pocket, people could make calls anytime, anywhere, without needing to find a phone booth or carry coins. Today, finding a working public telephone is almost impossible. Today, we are all too familiar with looking up locations or directions using map tools on smartphones. But few know that in the 1980s, map books and folding paper maps were crucially important navigation tools for all trips, especially long-distance journeys. These books, often stored in a car's glove compartment, provided detailed routes and landmarks, from interstate highways to small roads winding through towns. Folding them back after use was often quite difficult, frequently leaving maps wrinkled or torn at the creases. Nevertheless, they were the sole source of information for planning itineraries and avoiding getting lost. With the advent of dedicated GPS devices and later map applications on smartphones like Google Maps, navigation became much easier and more efficient. Simply entering a destination prompts the device to automatically calculate the optimal route, provide turn-by-turn voice directions, and display an intuitive map on screen. This technology has relegated paper maps to the past. Video rental stores were an indispensable destination for family entertainment in the 1980s and early 1990s. Famous chains like Blockbuster and Hollywood Video were once gathering places for families and friends on weekends. Imagine walking into a vast store filled with colorful VHS tape shelves, each with eye-catching cover art to attract attention. The whole family would browse through genres, from action and comedy to horror, selecting the perfect movie to take home and enjoy. The mantra, "Be kind, please rewind," became a cultural icon, reminding customers to rewind tapes before returning them so the next renter could watch immediately. However, the rise of digital technology and streaming services like Netflix or Hulu rendered video rental stores obsolete. Comment your favorite video store to continue following the next items. Before the era of cable and digital television, TV antenna tuners were essential tools for households to get the best television signal. Do you remember the scene of one person on the roof turning the antenna little by little while another inside the house shouted back feedback on the picture quality? Adjusting the antenna required patience, a bit of skill, and clear communication between the person outside and the one inside. Unfortunately, the development of digital television and cable services completely eliminated the need for these complex antenna tuners. Now, simply plugging in a cable or connecting to the internet brings hundreds of sharp television channels, no longer requiring running back and forth, shouting to adjust the signal. Fax machines were groundbreaking devices that helped businesses and offices quickly send documents over telephone lines in the 1980s and 1990s. It worked by scanning physical documents, converting images into digital data, and then transmitting them as audio signals over the telephone line. The fax machine at the receiving end would decode these signals and print the document on thermal or regular paper. This technology revolutionized long-distance document sharing, allowing nearly instantaneous transmission of texts, contracts, and images, replacing traditional mail, which took days. With the popularity of email and cloud-based digital document sharing solutions, fax machines gradually became obsolete. Email allows for quick, convenient, and paperless sending of electronic documents. Cloud storage services provide the ability to share and collaborate on documents without printing. Nevertheless, some industries like healthcare and law still maintain the use of fax machines due to their security and reliability.
It's new from Polaroid, the impulse camera. Go where it takes you.
Introduced in the late 1940s by Edwin H. Land, the Polaroid instant camera created a revolution by allowing you to take and print photos instantly in just a few minutes. The feeling of holding a camera, pressing the shutter button, and then watching the image gradually appear from a blank, blurry piece of paper was a marvel before smartphones existed. This instant gratification made Polaroid a pop culture icon, appearing in many films, music such as Outkast's Hey Ya, and even influencing Instagram's original design. Each Polaroid photo was unique, with distinct colors and effects, creating an unmistakable style, making it a favorite choice for special moments and parties. However, the development of digital photography caused Polaroid to lose its position. Digital cameras and smartphones offered lighter designs, no film costs, and instant sharing capabilities via social media. Nevertheless, Polaroid still holds a special place in the hearts of those who love nostalgia and photographic art, with modern instant camera versions being reproduced, featuring the retro style of its golden years. Dot matrix printers were common printers in offices and homes during the 1980s. Though noisy with their characteristic whirring sound during operation and slow compared to modern printers, they were highly valued for their durability and ability to print on continuous paper or multi-part forms, such as retail receipts or payroll stubs. The continuous whizzing sound of the print head moving back and forth across the paper was a familiar sound of the era, signaling a document being completed. A 24-pin printer could produce smoother images than a 9-pin printer, but both had limited image quality due to their mechanical nature, suitable only for text and simple graphics. Today, inkjet and laser printers have replaced dot matrix printers, offering higher print quality, faster speeds, and much quieter operation. However, dot matrix printers like the Epson LX350 still serve specific purposes, often used in some older offices or industries that require printing on continuous paper. Personal digital assistants, PDAs, were pioneering pocket-sized devices, predating the smartphone era, that helped users manage personal information such as contacts, schedules, and notes. Early models like the Apple Newton, with their small screens, often used a stylus for input or handwritten notes, marking a significant technological advancement. PDAs were a solution for busy individuals who needed to organize their lives efficiently, helping them not miss important appointments or forget sudden ideas. They could also store a small amount of documents and connect to personal computers for data synchronization. The emergence of smartphones in the late 2000s rendered this device obsolete. Smartphones combined all the features of PDAs, contacts, calendar, notes, along with calling, messaging, and internet access capabilities, forming an indispensable, much more versatile, multifunctional device compared to PDAs. In the 1980s, analog car dashboards with physical gauges and dials were the standard. Each indicator needle moved visually to display important information such as current vehicle speed, remaining fuel level, engine temperature, and engine RPM. These dashboards often had a warm backlight at night, creating a distinct ambiance for the driver. They were simple, easy to read, and durable over time, less prone to minor glitches compared to complex electronic systems. As technology advanced, digital dashboards with versatile LED or LCD screens replaced these analog systems. Digital screens could display more data in one place, from navigation maps and entertainment information to detailed safety warnings, all customizable and continuously updated. Although convenient and modern, digital dashboards sometimes lacked the charm and real feel that analog gauges provided.
Obtain the entire text from the current 32-volume set Encyclopedia Britannica on CD-ROM.
Before the internet became widespread, in the 1990s, CD-ROM encyclopedias were a major leap forward in accessing knowledge. A compact CD-ROM disc could hold a vast amount of digital information equivalent to dozens of printed books, along with interactive features such as images, audio, video, and hyperlinks. This provided a much fresher and more engaging learning experience compared to flipping through traditional book pages. Famous products like Microsoft Encarta made information retrieval easy and vivid, becoming a valuable tool for students and families. However, the explosion of the internet with online databases and websites like Wikipedia provided real-time, free, and easily accessible information from anywhere. This quickly rendered CD-ROM encyclopedias obsolete, as the information on the discs could not be updated and was limited by physical capacity. The advent of smartphones and tablets further reduced the demand for physical media, making these once essential tools almost extinct. Slide projectors were indispensable devices in homes and offices during the 1980s. They were used to project small photo slides, often taken with film cameras, onto a large screen or white wall. This was a wonderful way for families to share vacation photos, memorable moments, or for teachers to present lectures visually. The characteristic click sound when changing slides to a new image and the powerful light from the bulb shining through the small photo frame is an unforgettable memory for many. Although popular, slide projectors were cumbersome and required careful handling of slides, ensuring they were in the correct order and avoiding damage. Gradually, they were replaced by much more convenient digital projection technology. Digital projectors allowed for projecting images and videos from computers or mobile devices with easier content editing and arrangement without the need for physical slides. Do you remember wired remote controls for TVs and VCR players? They were very common in the 80s, but the long, tangled wire was their biggest limitation. This wire not only restricted user movement on the sofa, but could also sometimes cause tripping or pulling over equipment, if not careful. Their main purpose was to change channels, adjust volume, and control the VCR more conveniently than manual operation directly on the device. You could easily fast forward, pause, or switch channels without getting up from your seat, a significant convenience compared to before. However, technological advancements quickly led to the introduction of wireless remote controls. Using infrared waves or radio frequencies, these remotes offered complete freedom of movement, no longer burdened by tangled wires. Wireless controls also integrated more modern features, allowing users to control multiple devices with a single remote. Dedicated word processors were groundbreaking tools for writers and office workers in the 1980s. They combined features of typewriters and a portion of a computer, allowing users to easily type, edit, and print documents. With a small screen for text preview and integrated memory for storage, this was a significant improvement over traditional typewriters, where every mistake was difficult to correct. You could correct typos, change formatting, or move paragraphs without having to retype from scratch, saving a great deal of time and effort. They made office work more efficient. But one undeniable fact is that these dedicated word processors were cumbersome and less flexible than personal computers. Personal computers, with their multitasking capabilities, ability to install various software, and internet connectivity, quickly became more powerful and affordable, soon completely replacing dedicated word processors. Microfilm readers were important tools in libraries, archives, and government offices during the 1980s. These machines allowed users to view microfilm, small film strips containing images of documents, newspapers, or records, helping libraries store vast amounts of information in limited space. Instead of storing hundreds of thousands of bulky books or paper documents, just a few boxes of microfilm were enough. Usage was simple. Users just placed the microfilm sheet into the reader, and the tiny image would be magnified clearly on the integrated screen, allowing for reading and research. Although useful for research and space saving, using them required patience to manually navigate through images, rotating the film roll to find the desired information. Today, digital data and scanners have rendered microfilm readers obsolete. Most historical documents and important records have been digitized and stored on computers or in the cloud, allowing quick access and search with just a few clicks. Finally, an invention that revolutionized audio recording, allowing lectures, interviews, meetings, and music to be recorded easily and portably: the cassette recorder. This device was a major improvement over the bulky reel-to-reel recorders that preceded it. Users simply inserted a blank cassette tape, pressed the record button, and captured audio through an integrated or external microphone. They were essential for students, journalists, and professionals who needed to store large amounts of information. The sound quality was not perfect, often having background hiss, but the convenience and instant recording capability made it an indispensable tool. However, digital recording technology and smartphones quickly replaced cassette recorders. Smartphones now have integrated recording applications with clear sound quality, easy editing, and sharing capabilities. Nevertheless, there remains a certain interest in this classic device from analog audio and nostalgia enthusiasts, turning cassette recorders into a retro item. So, we have journeyed together through a decade full of memories, where items once thought indispensable quickly became relics of the past. Each item is a piece of childhood and youth, a testament to the continuous development of technology and society. Do you still keep any items from the 80s? Tell us in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next journey down memory lane.